My name is Kuypers. And yeah, I can't just do things part way, apparently. I wanted to, because we was talking about the future, I decided to talk about finding out where you're from as well as the future. So I'm going to get this for you, if you want it. If you want it.
Oh, sure, just for you.
Sure.
So you trust me with
Yeah, believe it or not, it's already bashed apart if you look at the lines. So I decided to do pieces about where we're from as well as how that shapes us for the future. And with these different pieces, I thought I would start. Might as well start the show then as well. Oh yeah, we've got music too. You're hearing music in the background. It's going to be from the hot man of South Africa. He's in another hemisphere, he couldn't make it, so I just have his recording that he gave me. And because Tom had said previously that he liked the fact that I had done periodic table poems in the past, the music that you're hearing is from the hot man of South Africa. That was in one of my last shows in Chicago of periodic table poems. The piece is called After the Ruins, just giving the prep on the music. And thank you for listening. This first piece, he's getting the volume right. Thank you. And then we'll get images starting. And I made a point not only with the images that are coming through here to be not only random art images from around the world, but I also put in some images of myself from past shows here, just to be able to share like all the time that I've spent here and doing things with it, or shots from this actual feature. So I just thought I'd put that in there for you guys. This first piece, because you got to learn about what's going to make you as a person as you grow up. I thought I'd start with a piece called Barbie. My sister-in-law gave me a Midge doll set with the boxes over on the other side of the room. Midge doll set when she married my brother. Midge came complete with a wardrobe of designer floor-length dresses with sequins and tulle, 3/4-inch gloves. Bring the whole box over, because I need a whole box because I got a lot of stuff here. I have to have props, right? But Midge, an older model, had short red hair, styled like a housewife, not like Barbie's, long and blonde and flowing. And Midge could never sit because her legs were plastic and rigid and could never bend. On my 6th birthday, I received a PJ doll for one of my Barbie's friends. Now, PJ's hair was blonde, like Barbie's, but it was shorter, and her eyes were brown, like mine. Not eyes to dream of, eyes like mine. When I finally got you, Barbie, I treated you like some sort of goddess. You with your disproportionate figure and perpetual smile. When you never eat, you can stay thin. You can always be happy. I took plastic kitchen shelf liner and caulking glue and lined the shoebox so that you could have a bathtub. I taped a straw around the back to the bath tube for a tub so that you could actually have jets and extra bubbles when you soaked. My father's pool table was your lake. A second shoebox served as your speedboat. You took all your friends on boat rides along the green. Ken, the Donnie and Marie dolls, PJ, even Midge. But I couldn't be like you. I had to eat, and I could only stand on my toes for so long when you always stood like a perpetual dancer. I couldn't always smile. I was only a little girl, and I was cursed with brown eyes. What did you teach me? I pressed you next to Ken under those pink and white bed sheets, but your plastic bodies made a loud noise when you came together. Your legs never intertwined. Your smile never changed. And now, all grown up, I visit my parents' house, and they tell me I've got boxes of toys that should be thrown away. Oh my gosh, I got one of them here. Kitchen accessories for the Barbie camper, beaded dresses that I made myself. And I think, I could give these toys to my niece so that she could play, so that she could learn. And I think, no, these dolls, these values, these memories, they belong sealed in cardboard boxes where only time can take their toll. Thank you. And you could see like the hair of Midge. What? What? Anyway. But as I got older and started learning more about what it is like to be a human being or what it's like to be a woman, I went to college, learned that 1 in 3 women will be raped in their lifetime, usually by someone they know. So I became an acquaintance rape workshop facilitator. I heard lots of people's stories, and that will affect how you are going to look at the world and why you will actually choose to write. This is the approaching the end edit of Burn It In. Once I was at a beach off the west coast of Florida with a friend on New Year's Eve. I watched the waves crash over the Gulf, and while the moon hung over the Gulf like a swaying lantern. My friend watched the scene and he said, I wanted to look at this scene and remember it, memorize it, burn it into my brain so that I could call it up whenever I wanted to, so that I could have it with me always. I too have my recorders. I burn these things into my brain. I burn these things onto pages. I pick and choose what needs to be said, what needs to be remembered. When I first went to college, I was studying to be a computer science engineer. I wanted to make a ton of money. I wanted to beat everyone else, because burned into my brain were the taunts of the kids who were in cliques so that others could do the thinking for them. Because burned in my brain were the evenings of all the high school dances that I never went to. Because burned into my brain were all the people I knew that thought that they were better than me, and I knew that I wasn't as bad as them. Well, yeah, I wanted to make a ton of money. I wanted to beat everyone else. But I hated what I was doing. I hated what I saw around me. I hated all the pain that people put each other through. And so these memories just kept flooding me. So in my spare time, to keep me sane, to keep me alive, I wrote down the things I could not say. That was how I recorded things. When I looked around me, I saw friends raping my friends. I wrote, I burned into these nightmares with a pen, and yes, I have this recorded. I have all of this recorded. What did you think I was doing when I was stuffing handwritten notes into my pocket or typing long hours in the night? I was sitting in a computer lab, slamming my hands, my fingers against that keyboard, because there were too many injustices in the world, too many atrocities that I had witnessed, and too many people who had wronged me. And I had a lot of work to do. There had to be a record of what you had done. Did you think your crimes would go unpunished? Did you think that I wouldn't remember? Well, you see, that's what I have my poems for, so that will always be a record of what you have done. Yes, I have defiled many pages. And have you defiled many women? You, the man who rapes my friends? You, the man who rapes my sisters? You, the man who rapes me? Is this what makes you a strong man? You want to know why I do the things I do? I had to record these things. That is what kept me together. When people were dying, this is what kept me together. When my friends went off to war, this is what kept me together. When my friends were being raped and left for dead, that is what kept me together. And when no one bothered to notice this, or change this, or care about this, these writings kept me together. I need to record these things to remind myself of where I came from. I need to record these things to remind myself that there are things to value and things to hate. I need to record these things to remind myself that there are things worth fighting for, worth dying for. I need to record these things to remind myself that I am alive. Woo. For the future. And the thing was, it can't always be about, myself or my gender or certain people or whatever. By the way, I just saw a shot of me when I was doing the show and I was being broadcast on TV. I just see the reflection. I'm like, that's so funny. It's so fun to see these images. Anyway, sorry. But sometimes there are things that we discover that all of society can do, or we start worrying about the entire planet Earth. And so on Earth Day this year, I wrote this piece, put it together, called Earth Was Alive and Dying. I had a dream the other night. I walked out of the city to a forest, and there were neatly paved bicycle paths, and trash cans every 50 feet, and trash every 10. And I walked deeper into the forest, but managed to get away from the picnic tables and outhouses that lined the forest edges. And the roaring cars gave way to the rustling of tree branches, crackling of fallen leaves under my step. When the wind tunneled through, the wind whistled and sang as it flew past the bark and the leaves. I walked, listened to the crack of dead branches under my feet, and I felt a branch against my shoulder. I looked up, and I could hear the trees speak to me. And they said, "Thank you for letting the endangered animals live here amongst us. We do think they are so pretty, and it would be a shame to see them go. And thank you for recycling paper, because you're saving us for just a little while longer. We've been on this planet for so long, embedded in the earth. We do have souls, you know. You can hear it in our songs. We cling with our roots. We don't want to let go." And I said, "But I don't do much. I don't do enough." And they said, "We know, but we'll take what we can get." And then I woke up in a sweat. I mean, do you even know why we should save the rainforest? Oh, preserve the delicate balance. Just tear the whole forest down. What difference does it make? Just, you know, put in some orange groves, or concentrate orange juice could be a little cheaper. What did you know? The medical researchers have a very, very hard time trying to come up with synthetic cures for diseases on their own. It helps them out if they can first find that substance with the cure in nature. And a tree in the rainforest that happens to have the cure may be the only one of its species, or one like it maybe 2 miles away from it instead of right next to it. I wonder how many cures we've destroyed to plant more orange groves. Serves us right. Everything is linked here. We destroy our animals so we can be wasteful and violent. We destroy our plants. We destroy our earth. We're even destroying our air. We wreak havoc on the soil, on the atmosphere. We dump our wastes into our lakes. We pump aerosol cans and exhaust fumes. And these animals keep calling out to me. The oceans, the wind. In the wild, you have no power over anyone else. Now that we're civilized, we create our own wild. Maybe when we have all this power, the only choice we have is to destroy ourselves. And so we do. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. And, you know, sometimes you worry about things going around in the world and all these things are happening to other people, and you try to make a difference, and you're like, I can take care of these things, and oh, your back starts hurting, and you can't get any rest and sleep at night, and you're feeling miserable. And so I thought for some reason I would close off with this piece for this evening. My future imperfect edit. This is how you've got to say it when you've got a piece that's called "I'm Not Sick, but I'm Not Well." I'm not sick, but I'm not well. And I'm sure there's something I can do about this. About the aspirin, the Tylenol, the ibuprofen, the codeine, the Prozac, the Vicodin, the oxycodone, and these sleeping pills don't knock me out anymore. And that thermometer is down my throat, and I'm gagging. I'm not sick, but I'm not well. The doctors find nothing wrong with me. And believe me, they've taken the x-rays. They've stripped me down, made me wear one of those awful paper robes. And they've put probes on my head to monitor my brain. And they've strapped me down and injected me with drugs till veins in my arms were itching and screaming. It was like they shoved demons under my skin. I'd rip that needle out of my arm. I'd jump off that gurney. I'd try to break free because they find what they're looking for, but never find anything I'm looking for. I'm not sick, but I'm not well, and I can't help but think that everything I'm doing to try to make things better might only be making things worse. So I don't want to listen to what you have to say anymore. And I want this IV out of my arm, and I want this oxygen tube out of my nose, and I want to be free of your straitjacket, and I want you to get that scalpel away from me, because I want everything I've got. I'm not sick, but I'm not well, and they want me if they can keep me in line. Maybe they can give me antidepressant medications and they can deplete my soul altogether. Oh, they want me if they can just scan my brain, check my records so they can claim they need to control me. They want me if they can cut me open and cut out my insides and make me suck out the fat and suck out the life and make me generic and make me dependent and make me unreal and make me unwhole. And I've walked that line with all of you doctors. And I want all my parts back. And I want to be healthy. No, I'm not sick. And maybe I'm not well. But you're only making the thing worse. I don't have the answers. But neither do you. So instead of tearing me apart and dissecting me and studying the bones, let me just stay together for a while until I figure it all out. Yeah.